Hey y'all, happy Monday. So part 3, the finale of Real Housewives of Potomac reunion aired last night. I wanted to add my thoughts and views. You guys take a listen and please stay tuned until the end and leave your thoughts down below. Thanks.
Welcome to my channel. We'll be discussing current events. I'll be offering healthy recipes and tips on how to be a baddie on a budget. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to share.
And as you all know, the men joined the cast to give their take on things. And when they first came out, Andy was making small talk with all the men. Chris, Monique's husband, just jumped right in about how he's so upset that people are telling lies on his family, etc. I just thought it was a bit much, a bit overbearing. I felt like Monique and her husband were making it all about them. And, we cannot just discuss their family for an hour. So I felt like that was a little unfair. Like, say how you feel about things, but let's move on. Like Andy kept inserting, hey, we've been talking about this for 2 hours. Like, we're not gonna just dwell on it. And what I found very disappointing with Chris and Monique is the fact that they never acknowledged Candace's pain. Like, I felt like they were being very narcissistic. I don't know if it was a strategy on their part, but I felt like they totally deflected from the actual fight and kept bringing it around to this supposed plot against their family. And I discussed it with Dennis, my boyfriend, and I know for certain that he would never involve himself in such silliness. Even if somebody lied, even if somebody was starting a rumor about our family, if I know and he knows and we're both confident in what we have at home, there would be no reason to be so angry about it. Yeah, I get it. If Monique says she knew about the rumor for 2 or 3 seasons, what I'm saying is confront that person, Gigi, Charisse, Giselle, whoever you thought was starting this plot or starting these rumors. Confront that person, have a conversation, and that be the end of it. And a lot of people don't agree with Andy because he's saying, well, the plot never went to the show. So it never actually played a part out in the show, which there was one confession that Giselle mentioned it. However, that wasn't a big part of the show. That is true that Monique and her husband made it a part of the show. So I felt like at some point, just let it go. Like, that's your baby. Monique knows that's your baby. Whatever happened with the trainer happened with the trainer. And I thought they made themselves look a little foolish by just hindering on that fact. And I felt like they were doing it purposely so that she wouldn't have to answer hard questions about the actual fight. So I don't like when people do that. Like, it was about the fight, the fact that you had not apologized, the fact that you really didn't feel any empathy. And I don't think Candace was so hurt about the fight, but I think she was more embarrassed and upset that the world was siding with Monique and she had been physically attacked. Not only has she been physically attacked, but Monique went on for months after months after months, and even still to this day, taunting her about the fight and how she was the one to shut her up, and she's the song drag queen. She made sure the video premiered on the last episode of the finale. I just think between Monique and her husband Chris, one or the other needs to bring the other down a little bit. Like, I think my husband would have pulled me in a little and said, hey, you know what? Do not release that song. Stop dwelling on the fact that this fight occurred. Whether you were the champion or not, whether you thought you won the fight or not, why keep going with it? Like, why do you want that to be a part of who you are as a person? So I think that's what's more upsetting to Candace, in my opinion. I think that's more upsetting than the actual fight. And then on top of that, it was someone that you really did consider a friend. Okay, so fast forward, Chris is giving his spiel about it. Andy says, go ahead, say what you need to say. He's going around and he's talking to all the women. They bring up the clip where he's saying he would like to smack each one of them, and something about he wish he was Kris Jenner. I don't know what that had to do with anything. Giselle has a security guard that she hired that was on set due to Chris's threats saying that he wanted to smack them. I think Chris was all the way out of line. He should have never even addressed it. It was some rumors and bickering between women. He should have left it there. Now, I get taking up for your wife. I get, okay, yes, about your son. It's about your family. But at some point, like I said, if you are confident in who you are, Monique is confident in who she is, and you are both confident in who you are as a couple, as a family, I don't think it needed this much attention. And whether Giselle was right to have a security guard or not, what I think should have happened was Jamal should have been there as her protector. But as usual, she makes excuses for him and why he wasn't there. So she had a security guard. Chris tries to address Giselle, ask her if she brought it up. She curses him out, or curses at him, and tells him she has nothing to say to him, which I understand. I really wouldn't want to have a conversation with him either. He tries to apologize, but apologies really mean nothing to me. You said what you said, you felt how you felt, and that's it. Like I'm the type of person, like, I don't want an apology. It's useless to me, because that's how you felt in that moment, and that wouldn't change, and that apology wouldn't change anything. They move on. They talk about Ashley. Michael's not there. He's supposedly at a wedding, and I think that's because he doesn't want to answer those hard questions. I think Ashley accepts Michael for who he is, and that's just the end of it. Juan was not there. He was at practice. I don't think Juan wants to be bothered with it. I don't think he feels this whole reality show situation either. I definitely, if I was a man, one of these husbands, I just wouldn't even want to be bothered with it, because it's just too much bickering, too much back and forth. And then even when the men forge friendships because of the wives, if the wives get into it, then that forces them not to have a friendship, as you can see with Chris, Monique's husband, and Chris, Candace's husband, that now they can't really be friends because, of course, their wives are at odds, and it's just going to be rough. Ray goes on to tell Karen that he would like to have a 25-year reunion, vow renewal ceremony. So he asks, So he asks, Ray goes on to tell Karen that he would like to have a 25-year vow renewal. So he wanted to know Juan and Robin's wedding day so it wouldn't conflict. That really brought Karen to tears. That made me proud. That made me smile so big, because I know they have been struggling so much in their marriage. And like Ray said, yes, he loves Karen, but they were struggling a lot. He couldn't honestly say, yes, I'm still in love with you the same way I was when we first married. And, a lot of people were saddened by that, but I think it was honest. It was an honest confession, and I was so glad that he displayed that affection for Karen on the reunion. I don't think Wendy and her husband Eddie really bring anything to the show, honestly. I just don't like Wendy's attitude. I believe she wants to feel much more important than she is. I think it's her ego talking for the most part. Eddie seems like a pretty decent guy, but I don't think they really brought anything to the show. I think she just inserted herself where she really didn't need to a lot of times. Like I said, her family's pretty okay, but they didn't really have a real storyline. She just inserted herself where she could fit in or whatever. And that pretty much summed everything up. I did forget to mention that Monique did finally apologize, but it was a half-hearted apology. She apologized for her part in the fight. I think Monique really needs to check herself, check her ego, apologize to that woman. She didn't deserve it, and just put an end to it. So yeah, I was on Monique's side, but I've had a change of heart after last night's reunion, and I do understand where Candace is coming from. So let me know what you guys think below. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you can, hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell, share the video. Please leave your thoughts down below. And as always, these are just my opinions, not the law. Thanks.